Welcome to the Power Hour. I'm Steve, along with the urban sensation C Red. And tonight, nobody outshines the Power Hour, except for maybe our guest, the one and only, the undeniable Nick Diamond. And we're going to call this episode From Balls to Diamonds, a picturesque tour of a man on the rise in the wrestling industry. Mr. Nick, how are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty good, Steve. How are you doing?
I am doing well. Thanks for asking. Um, it's been out there on social media. I feel kind of cheap for starting it this way, but I kind of feel like the people want to know. And even though the liaison spoke, he's not here to defend himself. So we're just going to get right into this. Um, one of your greatest attributes, since I've known you, is your ability to generate heat with a crowd. You have never met a crowd you can't instigate instantly. And it was very well done at NWA Chicago, to the point where I turned around to look up on the stage, and there was Mr. Corrigan laughing and having a great old time watching you shine like a diamond in Highland Park. So we know your screams, we know your instigation, and sometimes some of the fans get a little bit, shall we say, enamored with themselves. And I'm not talking about just the one. We'll get to him in a minute, but I mean, we remember the dealings with Chet for quite a long time. So you
Oh,
had a regular hoe train of fans that have been looking to take out the diamond, but in the interest of time and in the interest of hilarity, let's talk about Rocket Pro's Santino. Now, you have only been to Rocket Pro a few times, right?
yes. Only I think two or three times around there.
And somehow Santino, who is mainly a Rocket Pro guy, has it in for you.
Hey man, what can I say? His aunt has good taste.
So here's the thing. Okay, so let's talk about Santino's aunt for a moment.
Yeah.
The word on the street is she is a rather handsome woman, shall we say?
Yes.
Very attractive, and it would be the par for the course for someone such as yourself, who is has that animal magnetism, shall we say, to partake in the spoils of the many victories you have earned. Is that fair?
That's fair. I'd even go as far to say it's that big Nick energy.
Big Nick energy. Well, it seems to me that Santino's aunt really digs her some Big Nick energy, and why not? I mean, once
Oh,
once you've shined in the presence of the diamond, you never go back. I mean, I guess Red's been using, once you go black, you never go back for years. So we'll use this for you. Um, and now Santino's just out there in the world of social media, with a video camera in his phone, just issuing challenges.
yeah. Who gave this man a camera and a microphone and told him he can just challenge people? Because I want to thank them because it's given me so much content.
I mean, they're not always easy to watch,
Oh
because
no.
you get that feeling. It starts off innocent enough, and then it takes a dark turn. Like, somewhere, Robert Stack is going to come out of the shadows saying, in tonight's episode of Dark Mysteries, and a body's going to show up, because we don't know everything there is to know about Santino. I mean, Santino might be an assumed name. This might be witness protection. I mean, there could be a whole number of things about the legacy of a Santino that we don't understand. And here he is on social media wearing glasses, which I'm not even sure. I mean, that might, is he Clark Kent Supermaning you? Is he
He
pulling
might
out
be.
props?
He might be.
So it was widely regarded that this was going to go down this month at IPW. It was going to be Santino versus Nick Diamond. And I'm all for fun, and I'm all for sport. And if somebody's going to get in there and put in the effort, and get to the point where they can conduct a match, I mean, why not? We watched Pac-Man go from fan to wrestle, or at least for a night, and handle himself pretty well. Hell, even I've dabbled
Yeah, you've even kicked me in the face a few times.
a few times, but it was between friends. I mean,
Oh,
you never hold it against me, and I certainly never hold it against you. But my point is that he was escalating the situation significantly. Was he doing it to defend the honor of his aunt? I don't know what the motivation is, but here we are. So yesterday on the JFW podcast, was Travis is like, I'm walking out of IPW if this match happens because it's beneath Nick Diamond. So,
yeah,
he doesn't want to see your wrestling reputation sullied by such a crazy happenstance. And he's like, they gave me homework. They said, Steve, Nick Diamond's your guest. Find out from him. Is this match real? Is this happening at IPW? And before we could even do this show, our information liaison, the one tribal liaison, Rion Skills, squashed it like a bug, much over the protests of one Santino. So
yeah.
I set this up for you to respond. You are possibly one of the fastest rising talents in our area right now. You are everywhere doing everything. ARW Wrestler of the Year. You're up at CSW now, taking notice of the booking people there.
And I
Are
think
you
you're
going
going
to
to be
be
seeing
at
me a
CSW
lot
on
more there
Friday?
too. Oh, of course I am. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of me.
There we go. That a boy. God, sometimes people do listen. It's a beautiful thing. Um, so my point is, you're a superstar at ARW, you are a budding superstar at CSW, and you've caught the attention of one William Patrick Corrigan at NWA. And now here we are leading off our show when we could be talking about so many other things. We're talking about you at IPW versus Santino. Nick Diamond, shine a little wisdom our way. Talk about it.
So as you know, and not many of the people watching and or listening know, we do before the shows at IPW, right?
Right.
Just get everyone on the same page. And correct me if I'm wrong, the conversation of a match with Santino has popped up before, and Rion said it would happen if he showed up to sign the waiver. And then he no-showed, if you remember.
I do.
Santino no-showed. So you must not want it that bad if you're no-showing and then going online and still calling me out. You're just doing it for attention at that point. And like you said, I am beneath that.
And here's the thing that makes me a little nervous about all of it. Let's say a waiver signed and it's you versus Santino at IPW. What if you are his uncle? I mean,
At
we have to consider every side of the coin.
that point, who knows? I'm B. And if he gets a little too rowdy in there, I guess the bed movement, show him what's up.
I mean, Nick Diamond could be a time traveling gigolo, going
Yeah,
back in time, propagating the species, and then coming back forward. I mean, there are stories to go around. You could be his uncle and beating up your nephew. Now, that's just no good. That's not good on Memorial Day weekend. It goes
right.
against everything we believe. So I give you the out because you might be his uncle. If you are his uncle, I mean, how do you respond to that?
If I am, it would be a shock to me too. But at the same time, anti Santino, go ahead and shoot your boy a call.
I wonder if she'll watch this. That to me is interesting because Red and I don't believe I've ever met her. I mean, you
Mhm.
obviously have. I mean, in many ways. I wonder if she'll watch this and be like, "What the hell are these guys talking about?" They've turned me into a character. She's become your Miss Elizabeth in some ways.
Yeah, and you know the funniest part about that? I've never like actually met her. I've just seen her at shows.
So some sort of VR sex room. It's virtual reality, right?
It is for Santino, at least.
Well, there's some going on there. I don't know what it is. Boy, Santino has become quite the the independent wrestling character without doing a damn thing, which
Yeah.
that's the funniest part because we're all looking for his reactions when things happen at Rocket Pro, and now I'll be waiting to hear how he responds to what he sees tonight because that's funny. Rion might come on the show later and set the record straight, but as far as I'm concerned, and let's be honest. Let's say you're there at IPW and Santino's in the crowd. I mean, crazy things happen in that building on any given Sunday. I
It
mean,
wouldn't be
would you take it easy on the lad, or
the
would you show him why
first
Nick
time.
Diamond is the shit?
Hey, you've seen it with your own eyes. He tried to hop the barricade on me my first time at Rocket Pro. So as far as I'm concerned, gloves are off.
That up, boy. All right. Well, Santino, I hope you've enjoyed our little segment catering to your crazy psychotic whims. I'm going to say this and I'm going to be straight with you, Santino. You don't want this. There's no part of this where you don't come out bruised, hurt, or just darn right sad. So I'd stay
Let him
home.
catch all the smoke.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if No Coast showed up to deal with
They
you,
not. They not. They
yeah, they
not.
broke up, right? So Santino's looking for someone to hang his hat on, and Nick Diamond, I think it might be you.
I'm just the flavor of the month for that poor boy.
Quite the flavor you are. We Red have known you for quite a while now. We
Yeah.
we knew you back when the first time I saw you, I saw you fight as Mikey Balls back at Crash Tested Wrestling. And the change from then to now is one of the most impressive transformations I've seen in a wrestler since I've been doing this, and I've been doing it quite a while. You're impressive. You weren't always impressive, but now we want to find out where you are so we can keep track of what you're doing. I personally think that you should be getting in that conversation to be on television. You've done the work. You've done it the right way as far as I'm concerned. And you've had tragedies along the way. You lost a brother, you've lost friends, you've found friends. It hasn't been an easy journey for the undeniable Nick Diamond. Talk a little bit about your journey in this business.
So the second I started training, I got really close with quite a few people, as one does in a wrestling training school. And like you said, tragedy from the start. Lost quite a few friends. Austin Fury. Me and him, we didn't meet in person until that crash tested show, but we had been talking since I started over on live. So that one rocked everything. Excuse me, right there. But yeah, it's just been hurdle after hurdle. But like Dusty Rhodes said, got to keep on keeping on. So that's been my whole thing. Like one tragedy happens, oh well, I got a show. I can do better. I just keep going.
And everything is kind of gravitated toward ARW being a launch point for you because when you found that arena, I really think maybe you found yourself because you have been a superstar at ARW, and ARW, on a given Saturday night in Lake Station, they pack that place.
Oh yeah,
And you
400,
are,
500 normally.
I mean, your rivalry with James Creed was something that I followed with great interest because I've known Creed for a long time. I've known you for a long time, and I've watched you guys grow up together. And I thought that was a very interesting feud. And if I'm not mistaken, that was feud of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you were the wrestler of the year.
I was.
I mean, talk a little bit about Nick Diamond at ARW and what that means to you and why.
So it means quite a bit to me because, as I've said in prior interviews with you and other ones, this is all I've ever wanted to do. Like it's all I've wanted to do since I was like 6 years old, 2005. I watched the Shawn Michaels match, and that was beginning of the end, so to say. Uh, but ARW is pretty much home. Like it's not where I started everything, but it's home. And like you said, it was where I found myself. And I think the reason for that is because when I was growing up, I'd be going to all these indie shows with my stepdad and my brother. And the one we went to the most was ARW. So I was sitting in the crowds at ARW at 10, 11, 13, was watching the shows, and then finally getting a chance to be on said shows. It really lit that fire under me, you know?
And
And then
they've treated
when
you pretty
Willie came
well.
in, yeah. And then Willie came in, the guy who trained me, and he had just so happened to be on ARW's roster when I was going as a kid. So everything just lined up and it just lit a fire.
Willie Richardson, the bomb. Red,
Yeah.
talk a little bit about Willie and Nick. He's saying some pretty nice things about your old running mate, the bomb.
This that is Nick being nice. This ain't got shit to do with Willie the fucking bomb.
It has everything to do with Willie.
No, it don't. No, it
If it
don't.
wasn't for
No,
Willie,
it
I
don't.
wouldn't be the
No, it don't.
wrestler I am.
Nick, you trying to give credit where ain't shit due. As Steve has stated already. First of all, I knew about Mike Balls before Crash Testing. From where you came from, your original home. So to turn around and get to face you in the ring was fun. We had a blast that day. But me and you had a conversation. If you remember afterwards.
I do.
You were one of the few people that actually fucking listened. And what happens? We find out Mike Balls is dead. He's gone. He's shot. He hung himself. Whatever the fuck. Something happened. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And we got Nick Diamond. He took the time to figure out a character. Not just a guy and come up with, no, a character. And ever since that night, he has transformed into Nick Diamond.
Oh yeah, and I get that. I was just like that. You are right, but also once I paired myself up with Willie, I had that extra ear to listen to and run
And
things
yeah,
past.
potatoes. But again,
He's gonna give you a potato when he watches this.
He really got to catch me first, right?
Fair.
Right. He ain't got no car. I'm mobile.
Anyway, go ahead, Red.
Wrong.
Hey, pew pew, bang bang. So
I've never seen Soul Touch on Soul Touching Violence before.
Hey, shit, you must ain't been around us long enough. So again, my whole thing is Nick has did the work, and I'm going to be honest. And this is like me giving Nick his flowers now, his roses. There are so many times, like, I hate when somebody asks me, can you give me some advice? Or can you critique my match? And I do all of this that they're asking me to do. And I do it. And then they don't want to hear what the fuck I'm talking about. So they walk the fuck off. And it's like, okay, like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, cool, no problem. Nick, again, did it. And look how fucking well it's worked for him. Again, first of all, I told him don't get comfortable in one fucking spot. Don't. You got to
I'm everywhere.
You gotta move. How the fuck can somebody know who the fuck is Nick Diamond if they've never heard of Nick Diamond? You have to move around, right? You gotta put something in there that makes people want to. They put asses in seats. And so here's the perfect example, right? I hate that we didn't advertise, and I'm shooting this shit right now. There was no way for C3 to know that there was going to be a family emergency. No way, right? For Nick to step up against the Cobra, shit, banger. And I already knew it. And the first thing I did when I started running down the lineup, told Nick, banger. I need it. I want it. They deserve it.
And you got it.
Banger.
I thought Red was starting to quote Ariana Grande for a minute.
Steve, you okay over there?
Not necessarily.
I know I'm not. My hottie toddy almost out. What, Nick? I'm sick. I got a cold.
He's got a cold. He's playing hurt tonight. This is the Jordan game for C Red tonight. CSW is a very difficult promotion to crack into. And
ain't that the truth?
And when I saw Diamond and Marcellus tag together to take an ass whipping, and the way they took the ass whipping resonated with the fan base and resonated with the people in charge of making the shows. And Nick is getting opportunities based on the fact that he can step into any situation and make it better than it probably should be. And I think that is a superpower. You know, the Cobra, I mean, the Cobra is one tough son of a bitch. And to be able to go in there and have a banger with him at the last minute, you have to be a certain kind of way because the Cobra, he's high, he's tight, and he's stiff. And, you know, if you're not trained and you don't know what you're doing, the potential for injury is significant. I've seen it. I love the Cobra, but, you know, he don't play.
Oh,
The fact that you said Diamond and Cobra had a good match, that tells me that Nick Diamond showed up and showed out as he does. And then we saw him at NWA. And the pre-show matches very rarely get any kind of play with the crowd. They get a little. Nick Diamond created some magic moments in the pre-show in Highland Park, and you could tell it resonated with Billy because they got the crowd hot and the crowd stayed hot all night. And it was kind of an unusual show with an unusual match dynamic because they were doing tournaments and battle royals.
Yeah.
Nick Diamond set the tone. We always talk about it on this show, how those first matches dictate how it's going to go. So if you have a dark match that sucks, the crowd is not expecting much. Nick Diamond has gone to 2 promotions and completely blown away the people that do the booking there with great matches. And I think that speaks to how good he is and how talented he is. And I think the day is coming, Nick, where you're going to get more opportunities. I feel like you have to, because you're slowly becoming big match Nick.
yeah.
Talking about what you're going to do to Santino's aunt. Big match Nick is the guy that gets in those moments and makes those moments his. And there aren't many people that I know of that can jump into a situation that they aren't supposed to be in and make it theirs. I've only seen it a few times in this business, and it really is something to watch. Kylie Ray did that a couple of times, and, you know, that's rarefied air. Sky Blue, same thing. Got in situations that she wasn't supposed to be in and elevated the game. Marche Rocket has been doing that his whole career. So to be in rarefied air with those names, again, I feel like your time where you're at is short because I feel like maybe you're a secret, but not so much and not for so much longer. Is that your end game though? Are you looking for the opportunity to go and be a wrestler on television?
Of
Kind of sounds
course.
like it is.
Oh yeah. It's like I said, it's been all I've wanted to do since I was 5 years old. Um, and I've had the opportunity to do a few things on TV for TNA, and obviously the NWA stuff. Like, granted, it was a dark, but it was still like I had that chance. I still had that chance, and that is 100% the goal. Because when I came into this thing, I told myself if my goal isn't to be world champion, then I'm doing it for the wrong reason. Especially knowing that I've wanted it more than anything my entire. So yes, TV is my goal.
Does that mean at some point at CSW you're going to be tapping on CSW heavyweight champion Marche Rocket's shoulder saying, "Hey, bitch, step out in my way. You're too old."
It wouldn't be the first time I've beat Marche.
Ah, there we go. There's the Nick Diamond that we love. Nobody outshines Nick Diamond. Right now, do you recognize the position you're in? Do you sit back there in quiet time saying, "Man, things are really going my way right now," or is there always someplace else you want to be?
So like this, 9 times out of 10, I will always be striving to hit the next goal, the next landmark. But every now and again, I'll sit down on my couch, I'll put on some YouTube videos, I'll watch 3 wrestling matches, and I'll think to myself, huh, life is funny sometimes. Like, I never, like, obviously I've always wanted to do this, but I never expected to be able to do it. So even just the things I have done in a short amount of time, it's humbling.
And you've done it the right way. And I cannot stress that enough because, every now and again, you'll get somebody that kind of runs up the flagpole and, has it handed to him or, has something on his corner. You hear the term nepotism all the time, and it's a real thing. It's out there, but you have struggled for your art. You have taken those long road trips. You've
Yep.
done the smaller shows. You've done the bigger shows. I mean, let's face it, some of those crash tested shows, it's like we were playing little league baseball for 9-year-olds was out drawing us.
Yeah.
So, those aren't always easy.
That wasn't our fault. Okay.
No, it wasn't. We
Throw
tried.
that out
I'm just saying. And like I said, the IPW crowd isn't always gigantic in numbers, but they're gigantic in enthusiasm. And I kind of feel like IPW has served you pretty well too.
Oh, it
You,
has.
you you had your tag team run with Miss Larkin, which was hilarious. Is she dogging you out now on social media? I'm wondering what's going on.
Me and her throw some jabs at each other. It's all love.
That was quite a tag team. Back in those HallyCon early days of IPW.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite match that you've been in to this point? I mean, it would be easy to say you versus Creed because the story building was so good. But when you look back on all the miles and all the matches you've had, is there one that you go back to saying, "Man, I was really good that night"?
Yes. I can think of it off the top of my head. Me versus Greg Lover.
Talk about why.
So me and Greg, it was our first time locking up one-on-one, but we had done a tag team match before, and the triple threat obviously where he took the belt from me. But it was our first time locking up one-on-one, so we kind of knew what each other was capable of. And we kind of locked up before, but we wanted to take it to that next level. So we just went out there and threw everything to the wind, and I was surprised that everything reacted the way that it did from the crowd, but at the same time, it didn't surprise me because he's a wrestling genius and he's amazing. But
Glover is a heralded talent. I have worked with him before. He is one of those dance partners people dream of. Do you feel
Oh
like,
yeah.
he puts you in a position, that's his claim to fame, in my opinion. He puts people in a position to succeed because he's so good at what he does. There's another guy out there that works like that, Gringo Loco.
Oh yeah.
You work Gringo Loco, you're working a guy that if you have a talent, he will bring it out of you whether you want to give it or not.
No, yeah, and just from seeing Gringo's stuff, I can attest to that, and I can see that, and I'm excited to hopefully one day get a chance to work with him. But yeah, Greg, he's a different animal. Like I'm scared of heights, right? And he convinced me to do a superplex into a jackhammer. Like I don't trust people that way, but he pulled it out of me because I knew the match was going to be good. And I started the match getting booed because obviously Nick Diamond's the bad guy. By the end of the match, the crowd was cheering for me, and it was a natural reaction, and it wasn't forced like most times it is. So you're not wrong there. He definitely knows how to bring things to people.
Are we going to have to start calling you the Dirty Diamond? A little Dirty Dom?
Ooh, that's don't make me put that on a t-shirt. You know I will.
Hey, listen, I still hold the fucking patents on sexy violence. Quinn Whittick, I need to see some royalties and shit. He still uses that moniker. So if you like the Dirty Diamond, take it, man. It's good. Uh so where are you headed now? You said you're coming up to CSW this Friday, Elmwood Park. Have you ever done an Elmwood Park show?
It's not.
Bro, you may think you know CSW, but Elmwood Park is a whole different animal.
I'm excited.
Last time we did Elmwood Park was in December, and that crowd was 700 strong. And it's a big place. So they've already got rows 1 and 2 sold out. So
Oh,
if everybody's coming in general admission at this point, when you have rows 1 and 2 sold out 2 weeks before the show, people are interested in seeing it. And
oh
you
yeah.
got Dijak and you got Tommy Dreamer and you got Samurai Del Sol. So there's a bit of star power there. But you know what? Our that roster has got enough star power in of itself, I think. Would you like to work somebody like Warhorse?
Of course.
He's a bad dude, right? Nick Diamond versus Warhorse. Red, who wins that match?
I don't work for CSW, remember?
Well, maybe it doesn't happen at CSW. Maybe it happens at IPW. Maybe the liaison brings Warhorse to Richton Park.
Tribal Riez.
The tribal. Did you happen to catch Rion's entrance
Oh
at
yes, I did.
Pro,
I was sent the video.
where they had the "Can You Feel It" that merged into the tribal chief song? Oh my God! And everybody in that crowd stood up with that finger, man. It was a
They
thing of
know.
beauty. And I remember the day that started in the parking lot at IPW. What a turn of events that was. What do you want to do? If you could do anything, where would you go? Let's say you're going to continue through the indies. Is there a particular promotion you want to go work at? Or are you just, and if you do make it to TV, where do you want to go? I mean, are you, uh-oh, Red? I think we lost him.
Oh, we lost him.
Maybe he'll find his way back. Obviously Nick was at work, and we appreciate him taking time.
Yeah, we don't want to get nobody fired for work.
We don't want to get nobody fired. So Nick Diamond said he is going to be maybe Santino is responsible for this. What do you think?
Santino, really, really, Steve? No, he's at work. We're gonna say he's at work. And
All
the
right. So
Wi-Fi.
if Nick jumps back on, we'll bring him back and we'll continue that interview. Rion completely squashed the Santino rumor immediately when I shared, because Nubby sent me a message saying, "Hey, listen to the show and listen to the end." So I did, and they said, "Hey, we want to find out if Santino's actually gonna fight Nick Diamond." So I said, you know what? I'll share it. I'll ask the question tonight, and if Rion's there, we'll ask him. And then Rion came on and said, "Ain't no fucking way." as Rion would say. So, Nick Diamond, you can catch him at ARW. You can catch him Friday night at CSW. He is making his rounds through the indie scene, but don't sleep on him because I don't think he's going to be around that much longer. Talent like his doesn't come around that often. And, we're just pleased to have the opportunity to interview him now before I have to pay him $100 to come on here and talk for 20 minutes. But that's neither here nor there. Before we get into talking about Chicago style wrestling's big show this Friday night, I'd like to do a testimonial. So can you bear with me for a moment? Come on, you can help. So
Go ahead.
the reason why Rachel is not here tonight is she is at the Homewood Village Hall supporting Rabid Brewing. Now, as you know, Rabid Brewing is a proud sponsor of the Chicago Knockouts Roller Derby, and they are an esteemed business here in the Homewood area. And they are looking to move from where they're at to a storefront that has been abandoned for several years. And not many businesses look at business the way Tobias and Ray look at business. They are looking to be they're looking for a storefront that's more visible because right now Rabid Brewing is in an industrial park, an industrial building behind a Target and a Jewel in Homewood. So if you don't know they're there, you're not driving down the street to see them. So the fact that they have a good business is based on word of mouth. And to me, that's the best kind of business to have. If people come in and pack your place and they don't see you, they've just heard about you and they seek you out, that should tell Homewood everything they need to know. Number one. Number two, they are very active in the Homewood community. Like I said, they sponsor roller derby. They're always out there helping various Homewood institutions and situations. They host the Festival of the Goat Queen, a medieval Renaissance. It's really hard to describe the Festival of the Goat Queen. It's a very unique experience, and hundreds of people come from all over the United States to be at the Festival of the Goat Queen. So it's all that revenue that they bring to the Homewood area from hotels to restaurants, this, that, and the other thing. So they are actively participating in a community restoration. Homewood has, they've got a new casino now. There are some things that they've done. They're cleaning up the town a little bit. They're trying to make it, a little less they're trying to make it nice and shiny again, like it was when I was a kid. And I appreciate that because I live across the street from Homewood. If I walk out my front door and cross the street in front of me, I'm in Homewood. So, and I've lived in Homewood my whole life, went to Homewood Flossmoor High School. So I've been in this town a long time, and businesses come and businesses go. And not every person that runs a business is out to help the goodwill and the general public, like Rabid Brewing has been. And, step aside from the fact that it's a brewery, okay? I know that in some areas are like, well, it's just a brewery. It's not just a brewery. It is a communal point for a lot of citizens of this town. And I don't think that can be underscored. They're community conscious. They participate in Homewood's activities. They sponsor other local businesses. And they're right now at the Village Hall meeting trying to win their petition to get their new space. And their new space is about a mile and a half from where I live right now. Not that their other location is terribly far, but it's a nice opportunity for them to get on a nice busy street, for people to see where they are in a bigger space to fit more people, to do more good things. We've done the Power Hour from Rabid Brewing before. Rabid Brewing is creating a wrestling company, Rabid Wrestling. It's out there. They are good soldiers, and Tobias and Ray, they're good people. So if anybody has the opportunity to go by Rabid Brewing, stop by, have a beverage or two, say hi to the owners. And if it comes to a vote, or if you can say something in your civic community chats uh, get on board in supporting Rabbit Brewing because it's a good company with good intentions. And, like I said, a lot of people go there and enjoy the time that they spend there with their friends and family. So, Rabbit Brewing, very, very good citizens in our community. We need more business owners that are that good for the community. So, Tobias and Ray, thank you very much. And I hope this all works very well. End of testimonial. Now, let's move right in to Friday night. We have got Chicago style wrestling, Nowhere Generation. Red, what have you heard?
Nothing but what you've been talking about.
You haven't heard anything about the show that's happening this Friday night in Elmwood Park? I find that hard
Uh,
to believe, Red, a man of your stature in this town, in this community.
uh, not really.
Let's start talking about this. I was on the Windy City podcast last night with Mike Pinko, and we were talking a little bit about it. Uh, we got some pretty cool stuff happening. Let's start with some of the special attraction matches. Donovan Dijak, you are familiar?
No.
NWA extraordinaire, one of recently stepped away from NWA, so to my knowledge, at least at this point, is still a hotly contested free agent. I don't think he's landed yet, but this dude can go, and this dude can go hard. I think he left NXT because he was at the point where he was bigger than they were,
Okay.
and he's taking on the Land Shark. Conan Lycan in what we're starting off with what could be considered a match. If there wasn't a steel cage match with a vendetta involved, this is match of the night easy.
Oh, is this that show? Oh, okay.
So we
I
got
know a little
Dijak
bit.
versus Lycan, and Lycan shows up at every show, main event ready. He's a big time wrestler that is a big time superstar, and the moment is never too big for him. Dijak's coming in, and he's a big deal. This is going to be I'm going to quote old JR. This is going to be a slobber knocker right here. What do you see when you hear about a match of that nature?
Really, you gonna ask me this after I had medicine? Um,
I'm trying to make you work off that hot toddy.
no. Uh-uh. I need that hot toddy to work. Um,
Yeah, I see you sweating a little bit. That's working. It's in there.
don't worry.
You got that hot toddy shine happening.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. Sweating that shit out.
I got that hot toddy feeling.
Oh,
Uh,
nice. Oh, this ought to be good.
no. uh, again, I don't know the other guy, but I do know Lycan. Uh, the boy is tough. The man can go. And let's be honest, he's still not happy about something that he lost a few months ago.
Yeah, he's
You
certainly not happy with Marche. That much is evident in the made men. He's certainly not a happy guy.
so I think, I think his point from here on out is going to be uh whoever he has to beat, whoever's head he's got to kick in, who's ever ass he's got to kick, to get his way back to the number one contender spot so he can whoop Marche's ass. At least that's what he thinks.
Well, I'm not sure Marche walks out of Friday Night the champion. He's done
Oh,
he's messed up.
you don't think so?
I don't think so.
Oh,
They always say hell hath no. Well, before we get to that, uh Dijak is one tough customer, and it's a great matchup for two guys that can go all night and then go a little longer. Maybe the home field advantage gives Lycan an advantage, but there's just something about Dijak that is sinister, and I can't pick it. I have no way to pick this one. It's a dead even scenario. like and Dijak, you should want to go see this thing just for that match. I mean, there's plenty of other matches that are going to be great, but that one's going to be truly special. As I was going to say, you know the old phrase, "Hell hath no fury as
Fury like woman
scorned."
scorn.
Hell hath no fury as a woman dropped on her face twice from an M80. So for your CSW heavyweight champion this Friday night, all day Marche Rocket of the Made Men takes on Chicago's sweetheart Missa Kate in
Say
what
it
can
with
only
respect.
be a grudge match. Now, you know, Marche is going to take this match lightly because that's what he does. I don't know if he's ready for the demeanor that Missa Kate is going to bring because she's got a vendetta, and we already know she's crazy as a bag of cats. So we remember that 3 stages of hell match, right?
Yeah.
That she and Amina were, you know, Missa will bleed if she has to bleed, and I don't think Marche understands the wildcat he's going to have to do business with. You know, right in the middle of her calling him a brother, calling him family, he dropped her on her face. So this has been coming for a while. And you know, Marche is all day, but I think he picked the wrong fight here, right? I'm just being honest.
It's Marche. He'll be fine.
Well, I'm sure the shenanigans will happen in some form, but if it was even up, Marche's in for a rude awakening Friday night in Elmwood Park. Another match featuring an OG of CSW. Some call him Kalisto, but we call him Samurai Del Sol. Is back in action, and he's taking on. He's got his hands full too. Maggie Lee. How about that matchup? I've
You
given
ain't had
I've
nothing.
given you 3 matches that should stop traffic.
Should it?
Samurai versus Maggie, Dreamwave Maggie,
I
TNA
get it.
Maggie,
I get what your intent is, but
Lucha, Lucha. Oh, the Made Men. The Made Men are great. So you're thinking Samurai's going to become a made man?
I didn't say a word.
Oh my God. You know, I love Samurai Del Sol. He is a classic, but Maggie Lee is here and now. And mask or not, stop it with the Made Men. I'm
You
gonna fire
know, Steve,
Oh God.
there's an offer that you can't
I can
refuse.
refuse it. I can take a dump on it. That's what I'm doing. But that's neither that. Well, all right.
Steve,
Since you're gonna do this, since
you can have the
be the
seniors.
Godfather, since you're gonna pretend to be Terry Allen, let's talk about the tag team championship match and the farce that it is. We've got our champions, Adam Stallion and Cypher, taking on the team that's been around 5 minutes, Steve Boz and Bruce Hamilton. Now,
Right.
I'm not disrespecting Boz and Bruce. I just saw a video of Bruce Hamilton wrestling a steer with one hand on the horn and the other hand drinking a beer. If you are monstrous enough to fight a steer, a bull, a live, angry bull, and you're keeping that bull at bay with one arm while you're drinking a beer, that's a whole lot of fucked up. And that might be just what Boz needs to recapture tag team gold in a different way. Gone are the Bruise Brothers. Here and now are the Made Men. Can Cypher and Stallion retain their titles against the man that created CSW, I guess you could say, and Bruce Hamilton, who is the future of CSW? Sure is a compelling matchup. And I was all for Cypher and Stallion beating their asses up and down the streets of Elmwood Park until I saw Bruce wrestling a bull. And I'm like, if you can wrestle a bull into submission, maybe you do have Cypher's number. So I hate to say it, because I love our tag team champs, but god damn it, I think the made men are going to get them. And it makes me fucking sick.
Why, Steve?
Oh,
Why?
come on, man. You don't got to do that the whole night, right?
Just till we get through the CSW business.
Oh, Christ. In other marquee matches. Now, it should be enough what I've given you to want to come to Elmwood Park. I mean, I've given you pomp and circumstance. But if that's not enough, wait, there's more. Hans Carden, the Metro Division champion, defending his title against ECW legend, the innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer. This is Hans Carden's second match against an ECW legend, and he beat Rhino up. Is he going down the list, checking off ECW legends? I mean, obviously he can't check off Sabu anymore. God rest his soul. That was a tough pill to swallow this week. I know you knew him pretty well, Red, and sorry for your loss.
Uh, I got to hang out with Sabu quite a few times, so uh, I'll treasure those memories. But let's just say Sabu is always interesting,
Yeah,
never
he's
boring.
got a very, very very, very interesting past, does Sabu. And it's ironic and poetic, maybe in a way, that he passed away just a few weeks after his last match. So, you want to talk about a full circle career, uh, that would be Sabu. Uh, so Cons Carden versus Tommy Dreamer. What ticket are you punching on that one? Do you believe Tommy Dreamer will become Metro Division champion? Because I believe it. To have Tommy Dreamer for a few months in a row would be great. Be great for CSW.
Well, Steve,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse,
What are you going to
and
offer?
that's the offer to keep your champion as your champion.
So you're
To,
thinking Hans is going to, Mr. The Red Father. That's what we'll call you. So you're
I
just picking
appreciate that.
Hans. Of course you are. Of course you are. We have a triple. And if that's not enough, if you want more, we've got more for you. The women's triple threat match for the CSW women's title. You've got the Phoenix Princess, Amina Belmont, who I have thrown everything at but the kitchen sink, and the bitch keeps winning.
That's what
A
I keep telling
failure
you.
as a GM because she still has that title. But I'm going to keep trying. So now she's in a triple threat match. She doesn't even have to get pinned to lose. She's fighting Lily La Pescadita, who is on the scene and doing better than ever. I mean, if she could dump her deadbeat boyfriend in Yestra, that would be better. But Lily, thriving in NWA, thriving all over the state of Illinois and all other areas as well. And then why don't we add a bit of a wild card to this match? Enter the Spider, Blair Onyx. Gotcha. Maybe you think you're good enough to get by J Rod, you're good enough to get by Natalia Markova, but that Spider's out there, man. That's a dangerous, freaky situation you got there. There is no way to prepare for a match against her.
But Steven, how many times have you thrown up this roadblock and you've become unsuccessful over and over again? You throw stuff in Beaumont's way, and she keeps rising and rising and rising. Steven,
Kind of picture this as Mr. Young.
this is going to be like all the rest.
Oh, so
She's
Mina,
going.
got a Mina, huh? Of course you do. Of course you do. And if that wasn't enough, if and like I said, you've heard these matches, Red. Have we ever had a show like this before?
No, 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 no.
But wait, there's more.
There's more,
What
more,
about
more
an
to
I
say.
Quit match as my quest to destroy the Hate Keepers continues?
Why?
You have got Jay Marston in an I Quit match versus Warhorse.
Like, what are they quitting?
They have not been seeing eye to eye for some time.
I get it.
There's bad blood
I
between
get it.
Marston and Warhorse particular,
I
and
get it.
for one of them to walk away from this match victorious, they're going to have to make the other one say, "I quit."
What are they quitting though? Are they quitting wrestling? Are they quitting CSW? Are they quitting their girlfriends? They wives? Like, what are
They
they
are
quitting?
quitting the match. I can't continue. You've
No, I
beaten
get
me
it.
too
But do you
bad.
see, do you understand why I'm coming from? See, like you so set. Like you do know some of this stuff come back to bite you in your butt, right?
I have a very large butt. I can take a bite or two.
Yeah, okay, all right.
How
That's
about that? That is an offer you can't refuse.
say stop. No, you can't. You can't.
I can do the Godfather. Actually, I think that kind of sounded like that's Seth MacFarlane a little bit, and not in a good way.
No, you sound like Psycho.
Well, we'll take whatever we got. Uh to me, it's hard to picture Warhorse not winning, but if anybody could make Warhorse say I quit, it would be someone who knows him well. And Jay Marston is that guy. So there's that match.
Okay.
But that's not it.
No, that's not it.
What about the Shy Style Rumble? Not the Futures Royal, the Shy Style Rumble. And you know what the winner of this match gets?
What?
An opportunity at any title they choose
At any time.
at any time.
Now, with it being the shot style rumble, am I included in this rumble? I
Would you like
mean,
to be in the Rumble?
I'm just saying, I'm from the shot. I got style.
I mean, bring your gear. There's always
I
room for
gotta
one
find it.
more.
I
Oh,
gotta
that's right.
find
You're
it.
on sabbatical. You can't go. Oh, that's too bad,
I don't
right?
know why. Who told you that?
Maybe Mr. Young can come out and play because C Red is
You
retired.
you don't want that.
C Red
You
is on
don't want that.
sabbatical. C
You
Red
don't
doesn't
want
wrestle
that.
anymore. He left his boots.
They up there. You
Some
don't.
of the talent that is in the Nowhere Generation Shy Style Rumble. Shazza McKenzie,
Okay.
FXB, Eddie Grayson,
Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. I'm straight.
former CSW champion, the workhorse, Axel Rico, Jax Johnson, a student of yours, former Hatekeeper, Shane Boucher, Doom Montgomery,
No, I'm good. I'm straight.
your BFF, Uncle T, Solomon Tupu,
I
the
should just come just to be with Uncle T.
scumbag attorney, Eric Schultz, Haven Harris, the Russian mobstress, the career killer, Chris Miller, Jack Valor. All of these people are in the Shy Style Rumble. So any one of them could have a title shot of their choice. Wouldn't it be interesting if Jack or Eddie won? They could go after the tag titles.
That's true.
If Shazza McKenzie wins, she could go after the women's title or the Metro title or any title she chooses. Axel Rico wins. He could get a shot at the title that he feels like he should never have lost. A lot of interesting developments in the Shy Style Rumble, to be sure. But that's not all. Wait, there's more.
There's more. Steve, you're not gonna have people here till like 2 in the morning, right?
Oh no, it'll be what it usually is.
Oh, okay.
It will be what it usually is. Um, but what will likely be the match of the night? Steel cage. The story has to end.
I saw the story.
Too many people getting hurt. The violence has gotten out of control.
Has it?
It all started last December at this very venue
Do you remember?
when Quintero went high above that ladder and dropped down on Iniestra, injuring him and putting him on the shelf for almost half a year. Back and forth they go, the violence, the bad intentions. I interviewed them one-on-one. Wait a minute. I think Nick Diamond's returned. We'll see. And he's back.
All right, I apologize.
It's good to have you back, Mr. Diamond. You and all of your dishes. I can't hear Nick Diamond. He's there, though. We see him. Nope.
No.
Nobody shines like Nick Diamond on Zoom. And he's gone again. We'll try. I think Nick Diamond is remember how I told you he's the time traveling gigolo? I think maybe he's traveling through time right now looking for Santino's aunt. Back to Quintero and Inestra.
Why? If you wanted it over, just fire one up, right?
That's not how we do it.
Okay. I'm asking a question.
We settle these things
asking the hard
in the ring.
Questions. Oh, he's back.
Wait, he's back. Can we hear him?
Okay. No.
I can't hear him. I don't think.
No, senor.
Nick Diamond, is your speaker on? Do you want to do sign language? This is yes. This is no. Nick Diamond, are you going to fight Santino at IPW? This is yes. This is, oh, that's a no. That's a no right there. Are you going to come to CSW this Friday night, Nowhere Generation, and dominate like only Nick Diamond can? Are you going to be at ARW in June doing what Nick Diamond does? Are you returning to TNA? Oh, he's going back. He's going back. Nick Diamond, are you going to return to NWA? He's coming back. Nick Diamond, are you going to win Money in the Bank at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view?
Maybe.
I hear you. Speak. Well, I heard him for a second.
I did too, and then he
he
needs to like go back to that spot and don't move. See, we just heard you.
Yeah, we just heard him for a second. Nick Diamond is at work, so we give him all the credit in the world for putting up with our nonsense while working at the whole time. Nick, we love you, man. You are doing great work, and we appreciate you taking time out to be with us tonight. We will have you back before I have to pay you money to come on when you're super successful and WWE is trying to not let you go anywhere like this. All right. Have a great night. I will see you Friday night at CSW, and I will be the Wookiee one. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody shines like Nick Diamond. We know this. He's here, and he's on his way. The glass ceiling about to break. Thank you, Nick Diamond. Keep on shining, kid.
Love you, nephew.
And Nick Diamond is gone again. But now he's back again. Nick,
And he's back.
Yes.
He's
Yes, I am.
unkillable. I hear you now. And
What
now I
did
don't
he
hear
do?
him. I hear him for
What?
like 8 seconds, and then he's gone.
I'm done. I don't know what he did. Like it worked and then it stopped.
Nobody shines like Nick Diamond, but you know what? Sometimes the audio is not there. Can you hear it? Can you see? Can you speak? Amy's going to be so disappointed. Nick, go back to work, damn it. We love you. Thanks for being on the show. We'll catch you down the road. I'll see you Friday night. That is the undeniable Nick Diamond. Nobody outshines him. He'll be coming to TV near you before too long. And we're going to let Nick go back to work and do his thing because that's what Nick Diamond is doing tonight. All right.
And cut.
And cut. Hey, you know what? Sometimes technical difficulties happen. It is what it is. You know what? My internet has sucked for weeks. We can't get it fixed. I don't know what it is. As I was saying about Quintero and Iniestra, we had the big pull apart. They got very close to some fans that almost got the barrier pushed back, knocking a few fans backwards. There's just too much bad blood to not have this be the logical conclusion. They will be locked in that cage. That cage will be shut. That cage will be locked. It will be man versus man. And like I said at the end of our last show in Franklin Park, when I made the match, if they die, they die. They knew what they were getting into. They know the history they have in that building. This is the biggest moment in the careers of both these men, and both of them have done very well so far. Quintero, NWA, Iniestra, up and down the road, all over the place, come back in record time from a very serious injury. These are two major players. They're going to go into that cage Friday night, and I don't know what's going to come out. Red, what say you about this steel cage match?
Why do it, man? Why do it?
Needs to happen. There needs to be a final chapter.
So,
there needs to be a Death Star to blow up. And on Friday night,
really
our
need
Death
to be
Star is
one.
that steel cage.
It really don't need to be one.
It's a lightsaber fight.
I will say your production team have been putting on one hell of a video synopsis. I love it. And it made it easier for people who are not there to understand this feud.
Did you enjoy that little vignette that they had some of my calls on some of the matches?
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
I did very much. You know, I enjoyed making those vignettes
Oh, okay.
because I was sitting here when I did that.
So,
But you couldn't tell, could you?
nah, I couldn't.
That's because I'm the king, man.
You just take away the magic of everything.
Hey, there's magic everywhere, man. You just got to know where to look.
So the question is, who do you feel is right?
I don't think either of them are right. I feel like their logic is flawed completely. Iniestra needs to let it go. His injury was an accident. It was one of those wrong place, wrong time scenarios. It was a high risk maneuver. They had been doing high risk maneuvers the entire match in December. One went too far, and an injury happened. This isn't tiddlywinks, man. We're not playing chess. They are gambling with their lives every time they get in that ring. One false move, one bad fall can end your life, end your career. That is the price they pay. So I'm not ready for Inestra to play the blame game. On the other side of the coin, Inestra got restitution when he cost Quintero the title. There have been enough violations on both sides of the fence that you're going to go in this cage and you are going to fight until you can't fight anymore. You are going to beat the hatred out of each other. And who knows? Maybe at the end, a friendship begins. Maybe at the end, we get a tag team like we've never seen before. You put two animals in a cage, they either kill each other or they find a way to adapt and survive. Which way is it going to go? You got to come to Elmwood Park to find out.
Okay.
To me, you know who wins this match?
The fans.
100%. Because they are going to see a match that's going to be an all-time great. And we have had, when
So
I go back through
cliche.
the annals of the matches, I think back to Capri versus Brubaker in the Chicago Street Fight. I think back to Sky Blue versus Kyle Fletcher with Will Ospreay as the ref. So many great things have happened at Chicago style wrestling over the years. And this is going to be lined up in that legacy. That's what this is, a legacy match. These two are going to go off to superstardom because they're that damn good. And this is going to be that moment in time that might define the trajectory for one of them. A lot of eyes are going to be on this match. It's as important and as big time as it can get. That's what's happening Friday night. You should come.
I'm contagious. I'm sick, baby.
You are
I'll
contagious.
infect everyone.
It would be worth it, though.
To infect everybody?
Well, to have you sit in a commentary, even though you're, a little under the weather, you're like bruised fruit at this point.
I wouldn't want to do that to anybody. So.
Well, I appreciate that. So there you have it in a nutshell. That is the ins and outs of CSW Nowhere Generation. It's the mid-season finale. There is a show in June, but it's an outside show. It's Boz's birthday show. So that will happen, but I'm not sure that's going to be televised.
But it's going to be hot in the oven, brother.
Yeah, you're right about that, Boz. But then in July, we return to Franklin Park for In the Heat of the Night, which is
in the heat of the night.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed it is. Red, where are you going to be at?
Recuperating.
Well, no, I mean, where you got stuff coming up. C3 is when? When's the next one?
Not till August 30th.
Oh, so you got a little bit of a break at C3. Are you going to be at IPW Memorial Day weekend?
No.
I have Frontline the night before. If I come home at 4 a.m, like I often do, I might try to go catch that because I'd like to see the program take on Max and Rion. I'd like to be a fan. I might do Facebook commentary if I make it for that match because I'm interested to see that. Max and Rion as a tag team, that's good for everybody.
And when is the Frontline show?
Frontline show is Saturday, May 24th. Honor Bound, it's our WrestleMania. Next week on this show, we will talk an awful lot about Honor Bound because there's some extraordinary things happening on that show, which we're very excited about. But next week on this show, our guest will be Maurice. Do you know Maurice?
I know Morris. Yes.
Not that one.
No, they're not
Or
that much.
not Morris Day. Maurice, or the artist formerly known as Moondog,
Oh, okay.
has been on a great deal of a roll of late. So it's very exciting to have him back. This will be the first time we've interviewed Maurice. Maurice is from Tijuana. I want you to ask Chris. We might bring in a special guest host on that show. We might bring Swole Dixon to co-host that show with us because Swole has some opinions about Maurice that are very funny. So I'm going to ask Swole if he'll come guest with us on the Power Hour, because you know me, I love Swole.
Well, I love Swole too.
So maybe we'll have Swole come on here with Maurice, and we'll talk a little Wrestle League, and we'll talk about all the places. He's big at all heel wrestling. He just had a match with Shelly Benson that was really entertaining. Maurice has come a long way, and this new character is 100% awesome. So look forward next Tuesday night to that. What do you got going this weekend, Red?
Nothing. If I can get better, then maybe I'll go to Rocket Road.
Oh yeah, we've got the big Rocket Pro Wrestling. That's good. Good that you mentioned that. I forgot about it for a minute. Because I got my son Matthew's graduation this Saturday from Notre Dame. So we are gonna be
Congratulations, Daddy.
up at South Bend watching a lawyer be born. So that's going to be pretty good. I'm pretty excited. And his daughter-in-law, my son's fiance, is also graduating. So it's a family affair. We're gonna have a
It's
lot
a
of fun.
twofer.
It's a twofer. So two lawyers for the price of one. Actually, I can't afford either of them. So hope they don't sue me. But that's neither here nor there. So that's going to be good for me. We're going to have a lot of fun this weekend. Busy weekend, but fun nonetheless.
And then where's the other one? Next week?
Brian's graduation is June 1st. So we
Okay.
still got a little ways to go. We still have quite a few volleyball games because that season's heating up, and he's become quite the celebrity in volleyball. He's
I saw.
interviewed by the local paper, and he was a student athlete of the month in March. So he is writing his ticket to hopefully getting on Carthage's volleyball team. Me and my wife are having a debate whether he should get a part-time job this summer. And I say your part-time job should be in the gym, getting yourself ready to try out and make that team as a freshman. You're never going to be on a roll in volleyball like you are right now. This is the time to focus and get it done and not worry about $8.50 an hour or whatever the fuck it is right now. So, I'm not too worried about Subway not having a sandwich artist for the next 3 months. I'm worried about him, benching 350 and getting all his shit ready. So when he hits Carthage, he owns Carthage. That's the plan. So we'll see how it works out. I'm excited for him. We're doing on June 6th, we're going there for the launch is what they call it. So we're going to start doing some things, getting him ready to go. So that'll be pretty fun. Rocket Pro Wrestling has the big movie premiere at Hollywood Boulevard this Saturday night. So if I was not in South Bend, I would be there. Also, the Knockouts have roller derby. I can't believe I didn't spend any time. See, Cactus isn't here to help me with that. But we've got a pretty interesting roller derby scenario happening this particular Saturday night as well. So there is a lot of stuff happening this weekend out and about. So if you're not going to a graduation like I am, you could go see Kicks on 66 on the big screen. You buy your ticket, you sit in the theater with Rocket Pro's finest. Have a beer and a slice with pizza and beer. They're going to be there. Have some tissues with Maximus Orion, because he's going to be weeping the whole time. And I think,
Why?
and
He quit.
yeah, he quit, but he'll be there. He might have quit, but he won't miss the time to showcase himself.
Oh, I'm gonna be a granddaddy this weekend.
You're going to be a granddaddy, huh?
Again.
What is that, like 47?
Yeah, yeah,
You got too many grandbabies, man. You can't. There's a Hallmark big enough for you to celebrate.
and happy birthday, 12th birthday to my oldest grandchild today. BJ, happy birthday. G-Paw, love you. Holla.
Is that what you are, G-Paw?
I'm G-Paw.
No, I'm gonna start calling you that.
G-Paw.
C-Red gone, G-Paw here.
I'm
Uh,
gangster.
yeah, I bet you are. This Saturday night, the Retro Rumblers take on the Horrific Hunters. Red versus green at the Premier League. Uh,
Red.
so I guess I wouldn't have been at Rocket Pro. I would have been at Derby if I was in town. But a lot of great events happening in the area. Go check them out. Friday night CSW, Nowhere Generation, Elmwood Park. Check it out. There's a lot of things you can do. It's cool. So thanks to Nick Diamond. We're gonna cut the show a little short this week because we need to get Red another hot toddy. We need to get you an IV, man, so you can sweat
Okay.
that shit out of you. Hope you feel better, my friend. Thanks for playing hurt.
I'm gonna try.
Hopefully, Cactus was a success tonight at the Homewood Village meeting. Hopefully, Rabid Brewing gets what they need to do the move that they want to make. Thanks to Nick Diamond for outshining everybody as he does, even with bad audio. And thanks to all of you for watching. We'll be right back here next Tuesday with Maurice. For the Urban Sensation C-Red, I am Steve, and we will catch you next week on the flip side. Thanks for watching, and have a great night.